Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi guys. How's everybody doing? I'm Erin.
I'm Nicole. This is Dude, That's Fucked Up.
Dude,
Dude.
what's going on?
Well, okay. I was going to bring up something. Well, okay, business, I guess. Do we want to
Okay.
start there?
Yeah, we've said our names. We've introduced the podcast. Check. So we could talk about business real quick. Yeah.
Okay. I want to remind everyone that we're doing like a meetup in January. January 25th. It's the Thursday.
Yep.
And we're going to like place and location and time TBD, but it's going to happen, you guys. And also this morning I was thinking it could also be an almost 1 year anniversary party.
That's true.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I think we actually started talking about this in late January, early February.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe our anniversary is late in February or early March or something. But
Yeah.
it's like close-ish.
Well, okay. First of all,
Yeah.
it's been a year since my surgery.
Oh.
It was just a few days ago that I had my second surgery, my takedown surgery for my ostomy. So I remember when I was recovering, I was doing a lot of like, I was recovering. I was on my butt a lot, trying to like get it back to normal.
You were nursing your butt back to health?
I was learning how to poop out of my butthole again. And I was doing a lot of like journaling and soul restructuring, I guess.
Yeah.
And I would do this thing where I would free write, where it's just stream of consciousness writing. And one of the things that I wrote, like, and you set like a X amount of words. It's like, 500 words or whatever.
Yeah. Or I do it by time. I set a 15-minute timer.
Or time, right. Yeah. So I wrote about wanting to start a podcast. And I was like, who would I do it with? Like, it has to be somebody I can't do it. I don't want to do it alone.
Yeah.
Probably could do it alone, but I don't want to do it alone. I want to do it with somebody that I love and respect and have good banter and rapport with. Like, I could do it with DJ or I could do it with Nicole. And that
I won.
You won. But I'm just saying, it's just like the intention happened, and then I didn't even tell you about it.
No,
you mentioned it to me, and I'm like, dude, fucking weird, man.
Yeah,
I just wrote about this like a few weeks ago or whatever.
Because I called you in the car on the way home, I think, one day, and I was like, listen. Like we got I have this idea because we both were listening to like My Favorite Murder and we were like super into it and like and you're just like a podcast aficionado and so I just called one day and I was like, oh my gosh, what do you think about this? And you're like, yeah, duh. And I was like, oh really?
yeah it was like I don't want to sound like woo woo or anything, but it was like the universe was like, this is the thing that's happening now, go with it. And I did. We did
put it out into the universe and I picked it up and I was like, hey girl, you dropped this. And then
you're picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
You catching what I'm throwing? You smoking what I'm packing?
Magic.
And it was magical. So yeah, we're coming up on that, on almost a year of podcasting.
I feel like this is where if I knew the lyrics to the song, I would sing Miracles by ICP. But I don't know. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, that's some of the business is our meetup end of January. And then, I don't know. Just, I just want to say something real quick about net neutrality. I know, like, real quick. If we don't have net neutrality, we will not be able to do this podcast anymore, probably.
Yeah.
A lot of original and independent content that a lot of people listen to is made possible by the fact that our internet is very free and open.
Yeah.
And we do this all on our own. We're not part of a network. We would love to be that someday, but we like going back to like the whole thing of how we started this.
Yeah.
We just made it happen. We Googled everything.
It was trial and error, you guys.
Yeah. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but we figured it all out because the internet is so free and open, and there's people creating web forums and, you know, asking the same questions we are. And it's online communities of people making podcasts independently that are there for you to help answer these questions. So all that said, just pay attention to this stuff. If you need to know more about it, I highly recommend watching the piece that John Oliver did on Last Week Tonight. It's very comprehensive. It's funny, and it is easy to understand to some degree. So if you guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, just Google that because you can for free, and it's important. So yeah.
It is. It is a weird, like, it's weird that we're even having to deal with this, and also it is kind of confusing, I guess, but really how it works is right now you have a lot of different service providers you could go to, and everything's kind of separate, and a lot of things are free. So like no matter what internet service provider you have, you could go onto Facebook, you could go onto Google, you could subscribe to Netflix, you could subscribe to Hulu, and what big corporations are trying to do is like make alliances with a lot of those bigger companies so that in order to get access to Facebook, let's say, you'd have to subscribe to a certain internet provider. Yeah. And then you'd have to pay for it, like in addition to or whatever. So it's just like not a good thing. And information should be free, and we should all be smart and have access to it pretty easily.
We shouldn't have to, we should be able to choose the choices that we want for content. If you want to be a flat earther, you know, and read about flat earth stuff, that's your God-given internet right. If you want to, you know,
that's your flat earth God-given right.
Yeah. That's your goddamn flathead right. Phillips or flathead.
That was a tool joke.
Tool joke.
Because you are a bunch of tools. If you're flat earthers, you're buttholes. Oh, fuck. But yeah, this isn't North Korea, and we want to be able to go on Facebook. So,
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
.org. Just kidding. I think that's all the business, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Do we even need to talk about fucked up stuff, or should we just get into it?
No, let's just get into it.
Yeah, I'm really
everything's
excited.
fucked up right. Everything's fucked up right now. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Let's move to an island, all the women, until we can figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, burn it all down and start over. I liked your quote on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I did stand up the other night. It was my second time ever. It was very fun. And I talked about Matt Lauer because I just can't with all these people. And I was upset.
Did you work Ann Curry into there?
I did.
Fuck yeah.
But not in a good way, because I was not an Ann fan.
What? I like Ann.
I think when Meredith
Team
left.
Ann, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, when Meredith left, Ann was not a Meredith replacement. She was not on Meredith's level. So
she's like a little milquetoasty.
Yeah. So I was like not excited. And then when she was ousted, I felt bad. But I was also kind of like, well, I didn't like her, so I don't know. But then you start to find out maybe why you didn't like her, because there was like everybody was being rude to her, and it permeates and whatever. So
and they give her like the shittiest segments, and she's just like constantly living in fear of like losing her job, and so she's just like, ugh,
you could tell she was like trying too hard all the time or something.
Yeah,
but then you find out why. It's because maybe he whipped it out to her, and she was like, no.
Well, also, like, there's always been blind items about Matt Lauer.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily, like, sex assault related, but, like, he's always been an asshole. Like, that's just a known thing that has always been in blind items. And so I think a good rule of thumb is when somebody's just a complete prick and feels like they have no consequences for being a complete prick.
Yeah.
There might be some other like questionable shit going on in their world where they don't face any consequences. So I don't know.
Well, that's what's weird. It's like a lot of people are coming out being like, oh, I was an intern for him in the 90s or whatever, early 2000s, and he never did anything to me. And it's like, well, he wasn't the like star of the network that he was last week when he got fired. Like, you know, he wasn't as like powerful then. So maybe
he was just like a medium asshole.
Yeah, like, he was like maybe he'd be like, this isn't the Starbucks I ordered or whatever.
Yeah.
You
and then he
noob.
like high octave assholes where you're actually taking the coffee and throwing it in somebody's face. So
he was like here, asshole. But then it was like asshole. Then it was like asshole. And then when he was fired, asshole.
the highest octave. Octave? I don't know.
Octave.
I don't know what I'm saying.
The highest Octavia Spencer.
The highest.
I love her.
Octane? Is that also a word?
High octane is like it's like monster truck rallies and monster
Sunday.
Gathering of the Juggalos. So weird.
Oh my god.
All
right. It's like Mariah Carey.
I thought I made a note about her in our topic today because there was something funny.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I like did the first half of the notes and then I just like stopped.
I know, I saw. But it was great because I hadn't done any notes yet. So then I jumped in, I finished it.
You built on it. Yeah. It's
fucking
gonna be great.
hashtag teamwork.
You guys, let's segue into the topic here.
Yeah.
We are going back to where else? The late 60s, where everything was awesome and terrible. What are we talking about today? We're going to talk about a kidnapping that happened in 1968. This isn't Tanya 2, but it's very close.
Didn't you want to name? You wanted to name an episode something like something to Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but that just reminded me.
I don't either. I know. We always kick around title names, and sometimes I save my audio file as something silly, and then Nicole just builds on it. So again, teamwork.
Sometimes I take it just straight up.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
That's how I know that it's good.
That's the title, yeah.
It's very validating. Okay, so this is a kidnapping that happened on December 17th, 1968. A 20-year-old college student and daughter of a wealthy real estate developer was kidnapped. Her name was Barbara Mackle. Mm-hmm. She was kidnapped from a motel room that she was staying at with her mother in Atlanta, Georgia. So she was a student at Emory University. This is why she was in a motel room with her mom. It sounds kind of weird. But she had gotten really sick while she was at school. She'd come down with the Hong Kong flu. Hong Kong flu was like, it sounds like kind of fun. And maybe like a cool like action movie, like a karate movie from the 60s. But it was not a joke, actually. It was a global pandemic that killed about a million people. In the late 60s.
I don't know anything about this, and
I was like, what the fuck is Hong Kong flu?
Yeah.
Is this like some made up like affluenza white girl like bullshit? That where she's like, I can't be in school right now. I have to like go stay in a motel with my mom. But she actually was super sick. It's like it was like what we now know as like H1N1, like it's like a variation of that strain of flu. So
okay.
like it was like it developed from avian flu to swine flu and then like transmits to humans. So it's all rough.
It's one of those ones.
One of the bad ones. It even killed famous conjoined twins, the Hilton sisters, which I think we should absolutely do our next bonus Patreon episode on.
Yeah, I'm so down because I'm one. I love conjoined people, twins. They're always twins.
Yeah.
I have
What if one was just like way older?
like it was like it just like lived in the belly for a while, like it just like
a parasitic twin.
Yeah, and then it like latched on the way out the birth canal, but it was like already like a few years old. Ew. So weird.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm very excited.
Okay. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, we do like full bonus episodes on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Like one of them was the Kentucky meat shower, which we had made jokes about in a previous couple episodes. And we ended up just doing a whole entire episode on it. So
it's very funny.
It's very funny. I'm always plugging the Patreon. So annoying. Sorry.
No, it's good.
So she was taken off campus so that she could like get the fuck out of her gross dorm and chill for a couple days with her mom and recover and study for her finals in peace.
Yeah.
And so then at 4 a.m., on December 17th, someone banged on the door of their motel room claiming to be a detective, saying that something bad had happened to Barbara's boyfriend at the time, saying he was like in a car accident or something.
Yeah. It makes me think, because they were probably like, knock, 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 like, ma'am, this is the police, detective, whatever, like, something bad has happened to your boyfriend. And she's like, oh my God, my boyfriend so-and-so? What was his name? Stuart? Yeah. Like, oh, my boyfriend, Stuart. Yeah. Your boyfriend, Stuart. Oh my God, Stuart, is he okay? Like, it makes me think that they were just, like, kind of psychics, you know, how, like, you feed them information and they feed it back to you, and then you're like, oh, my God, how did they know that? But really, you told them. Or it makes me think of two kids in a trench coat. Because, okay, like, we're going to get to this, but, like, these criminals weren't smart.
No. Well, they were smart.
They had good ideas. I think it's that they executed poorly.
They focused a lot of their energy on the wrong things. So I tend to think that maybe they did some research and did know who her boyfriend was.
Yeah,
they knew who she was, obviously. They knew she was from a wealthy family, and that's why they targeted her. And they also figured out where she was staying. So, you know.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they would maybe know a little bit about her personal life a little bit.
Maybe we should say that now, is that this wasn't a random kidnapping. Like,
no.
Barbara Mackle was the daughter of like a real estate mogul in Florida, Robert Mackle, who was also like kind of like acquaintancy or like friendsy with Richard Nixon.
Okay, this is a rich person.
Yeah, rich person.
Rich people know each other because it's a very small club. This is like This is like the 1% before the 1%.
Yeah.
Like, he was a millionaire in the 60s. He's probably like a major high dollar donor to Richard Nixon.
Yeah. So there was like so then these criminals were like, oh, like, he has money and he knows Richard Nixon. He must be super loaded.
Yeah, that'll come in handy later. Should have thought about it in a different way. So banged on the door of their motel room. As soon as the mom opens the door, the two people shove their way into the hotel room, pointing a shotgun in their faces.
Yeah.
And one of them was obviously a man, but they both were wearing masks, and the other one looked like a little boy.
Yeah.
Or a young boy. Mm-hmm. Or a very slight man. But actually they were Gary Stephen Krist, or Christ, maybe.
With a K?
Yeah. It's like the Kardashian Jesus. Sorry. Hi, I'm Jesus Christ.
With a K.
With a K. Okay.
This is who I thank for all my lip kit lines. I like pray to Krist that with a K that like I'll discover the next like great color profile.
This hot red lip that you see me wearing is blood from my own body. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah, Gary Stephen Krist, or Krist, whatever, who is a lab technician at the University of Miami, and his accomplice, who is not a little boy or a man, named Ruth Eisman Shire, who is his student / lover.
Ew.
No, no shame. But
well, when you're when it's a student, it's weird. I don't know.
But you're in college, so it's like kind of hot. I don't know.
No. But then it's like power and all the weird stuff.
True. Yeah, cut that out. Let's see. So yeah, they grabbed Barbara and they bound and chloroformed her mom. What is chloroform, dude?
Yeah, what does that smell like?
I don't know. Because you'd probably pass out if you smelled it. I don't think you could use it anymore. I mean, maybe people do, but like what? It's more for. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's like liquid, but like the vapors from it. The vapors. They make you sleepy and groggy so that's what like in the movies like people would pour some onto a cloth and like come behind you and grab you and put it on your face.
Old-timey kidnapping trick.
Okay, so this is like your first hint that these fuckers have seen way too many movies. And they subsequently have planned everything after what they've seen in movies is what this kind of seems like to me.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so they toss her in a car. They toss poor little Barbara in a car, and they drive her out to the middle of the woods, 20 miles north of Atlanta. So fucking scary. Really, really scary.
The woods, because Georgia's, like, Atlanta is a city, but outside of Atlanta, it's very woody. Yeah. And, like, foresty and stuff.
Yeah, and it's wild. Like, there's a lot of wilderness and not a lot of people, especially back in this time. There's her family was going to develop it all later on, but no, they were down in Florida.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they drive her out to the middle of the woods, and this is where you guys just buckle up because it's about to get really not that. I mean, it's creepy, but really elaborate and fucked up.
Yeah.
So in the woods, they lead her to a pre-dug hole with a fucking coffin-like capsule in it. It's so fucked up. Like, imagine being ripped out of your hotel room, motel room, whatever, tied up, thrown in the back of a car, not knowing what the fuck's going on. You first of all, you have the fucking flu.
Yeah.
So you feel like shit. And then these assholes just come and grab you at 4 a.m., throw you in the car, take you in the middle of the woods, and then they're like, get in this coffin. What the fuck? She's all like groggy because they've been chloroforming her and has the flu. So this coffin is about 7 feet long by 3 feet wide by 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
So that's like teeny tiny, but like you could still kind of move around. It's not like...
It's like bigger than a coffin.
It's bigger than a coffin. It's a capsule. They call it a capsule. It's not like how Uma Thurman was in a literal coffin in Kill Bill 2.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite.
Me too.
Well, like tied with Kill Bill 1, but...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So they toss her in this little thing, and the guy explains to her that it has all these features.
He's like selling her on it?
Yeah, he's like, shut the fuck up, get in this thing. It's great. I designed it. It has a great ventilation system. Has a lamp.
Yeah.
It has candy if you get hungry. If you get cold, there's a sweater. There's water that is also roofied, so if you have trouble sleeping, it'll knock you right out. And there's a little toilet in there too for her poops and pees. Like they thought of everything.
Okay. How was there a toilet? Like, okay, 3 feet. Oh yeah, I guess you could crouch down. But was the toilet like? I just am wondering. Obviously it's like a bucket or something.
Yeah, it was like a little bucket, and there is actual. I can read the like part of the letter of. So he throws her in there, and there's also like he's explaining it to her, and then they're also taking Polaroids of her with a sign that says kidnap. They're making her hold a sign that says kidnap. They're making her do all this stuff, and she's just like, what the fuck? And she's all fucked up from the chloroform. Yeah. So and that's why when you Google pictures of her, she's like kind of half smiling, it looks like. Yeah. But it's because they like chloroformed her and she's like out of it. Yeah. So not only is he like explaining this to her and she's all fucked up, he like has written a full letter to her explaining the like features of this capsule, this coffin. And I'm going to quote real quick from the letter that is in there that she reads.
Oh, I'm excited. I didn't read this.
I'm going to explain the toilet situation real quick.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. He wrote, quote, "Your capsule contains a bucket for refuse and the products of your bowel movements. The bucket has an antibacterial solution in it. Don't tip it over. The lid seals tightly to prevent the escape of odors. A roll of wax paper is provided. Use it to prevent solid waste from contaminating your bed. Kotex is provided should you need it."
That's kind of nice.
It's just like so congratulatory of themselves, of this person to be like, look at all the things I thought of. Like, aren't you glad aren't you impressed that I like thought to like make you a toilet and that it has like a antibacterial solution in it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But
it's
still,
so creepy.
Like, you kidnapped me and you guys are a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. So she didn't read this fucking note. She's like, they put her in the thing. And I think the saddest thing about it is she just keeps saying over and over, "I'll be good. I'll be good."
Yeah. That was so sad.
Poor thing.
But the other thing too is like they were really stoked on like how much they thought of and like how great this contraption was, but the battery, like, wasn't there a problem with the battery? Like, he was like, oh, the ventilation system and the light run on this battery, which will last for up to 11 days. And then it like was done in 3 hours.
Well, it says okay, literally the entire letter he like leaves in the capsule is for the most part of the letter was just him talking about all the features, like I said. Like he says,
it reminds me of those stickers on the car window when you're like buying a new car and it just like lists out all the like bells and whistles. Like,
okay, listen to this. He says, "Your life depends on the air delivered to your chamber via the ventilation fan. This fan is powered by this fan is powered by a lead acid storage battery capable of supplying." Like, I'm just gonna talk like a neckbeard asshole whenever I read it. "The batteries capable of supplying the fan motor with power for 270 hours.
What are you doing with your face?
That's how I make the fucking voice. Don't look at me. However, the use of the light and the other systems for only a few hours, coupled with the higher amperage drain, will reduce this figure to only 1 week of safety." Like, what a fucking asshole. "Should the air supply prove to be too much, you can partly block the air outlet with a piece of paper. A muffler has been placed in the air passage to prevent any noise you make from reaching the surface. If we detect any commotion which we feel is dangerous, we will introduce ether to the air intake and put you to sleep." Like, bull fucking shit, you did not have this shit. Like, this is not a thing. He's just writing stuff to like scare her.
Yeah. But also no one would have heard her anyway. She's in the middle of nowhere.
Like, he just like goes on and on about the like all the things. Oh, the light. There is the thing about the light system.
Yeah.
The light uses 2.5 times the amperage of the air circulation system. Use of the light when not necessary will cut your battery safety margin substantially. If you use the light continuously, your life expectancy will be cut to 1/3 of the week we have allotted you before you are released.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. No, that's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course she's not going to turn the light off. It's fucking scary in there. It's
like
she
probably like she didn't take the she's not it is just so funny to me that this guy is so obsessed with himself and how smart he is that he thought that she would take the time to read his fucking note about all the features of the capsule. Like, she's freaking the fuck out, dude. Like, she's not going to be like, oh, what's this note describing all these things? All these, like, what? Like,
welcome to Capsule. We're so glad you've decided to stay with us during your week in kidnapped, in isolation.
During your week underground.
If you need anything, please don't shout through the hole in the top of the thing that's for your air.
Yeah, because then we'll put ether into it.
Yeah.
Ugh, God damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's kidnapped.
She's kidnapped. They stick her in this thing.
They didn't just do it for the fun of it.
No. They had a whole plan.
Yeah. Because, okay, I feel like maybe this has already been teased a little bit, but they don't want to kill her.
No, they want money.
Yeah, they want money.
And so they have an amount that they're going to be asking the Mackle family for.
Yeah.
They want $500,000.
Yeah.
That's all they want.
Yeah. It's not that much, but maybe inflation and whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're like realists. Like,
it just seems like such an arbitrary number. And like, I would have asked for more, I guess. I don't know.
Well, he thinks he's so smart. And so there was a plan because Krist was married.
What?
Yeah, he was married. I think he had 2 kids.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure. But he was married. But so he was having an affair with Ruth, and so his student, and so he was like, I'm in love with you, and we should run away together, but we need money to run away, and like just get out of here and disappear. They wanted to disappear to Europe, so maybe he had factored in what it costs to get there and live there and stuff. So that's the reason why they wanted this money.
Okay, people are stupid, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
So their plan is pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
But actually it's not. I mean, the most elaborate thing is the capsule.
Oh, for sure. God,
and that's
was he fucking proud of this capsule or
he was
what?
So proud. But this is the problem. And what I alluded to in the beginning is that he focused on the wrong part of this whole, I mean, no, I'm glad that this capsule was so well designed for safety for her. However, it's like they put all of their brain power into this one thing.
Yeah.
And then didn't really asking for the ransom.
Yeah.
And the way that they went about it all, which we'll get into right now.
Oh my God. Before we get into that, let me say, so all of the stuff that like happens next, most of the details that I read, I got from a site called crimelibrary.com. And there's a good chance that this is like a Wikipedia type site. I'm not sure. I think it's like maybe run by True TV, that like network on TV with all the crime stuff. But maybe it's just sponsored by them. I'm not sure. But I think it's like a Wikipedia type thing. And I think that Krist wrote most of these details. Here's Exhibit A.
Okay, wait. First of all, I'm on the same thing. And I was like, as I was reading this, I was like, this is so ridiculous. But the like title of the like beginning portion of it is The Snatch. And it's written like very like dramatic and yeah. So,
but also like it's not. It's very basic. All the information's very basic. But so like when I clicked into it, the case. Like, so it's a crime website. So there's a bunch of criminals and cases and stuff. But the reason I think he wrote this is because the case of this kidnapping is titled Gary Krist, the Einstein of crime.
He definitely wrote it.
If you don't believe us, Exhibit B is so the description of this. So it's like Gary Krist, the Einstein of crime, and then the description of this case is Gary Krist is brilliant criminal who kidnapped daughter of President Nixon's friend. Grammatically, it's not good, and also like he wants it to be more high profile than it is.
Yeah, like let me toss in some. Let me name drop.
Yeah.
Let me add some superlatives to my last name or my name. Brilliant criminal. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, no one's buying it.
Okay, if you're a brilliant criminal, you don't fucking get caught as easily as this motherfucker did.
True that. Yeah, here it comes.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so the morning after the kidnapping, they obviously contact the Mackle family.
Yeah.
For a ransom. $500,000 in $20 bills.
Yeah.
And they want to set up like a drop, I guess.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, so they contacted him. I'm not sure how. Maybe they called and like hung up or whatever. But it was basically like, if you're gonna pay this ransom and you ever want to see your daughter again, then put an ad in the paper, and so we know that like you're willing to like do this shit. And so I think it had to read, loved one, please come home. We will pay all expense and meet you anywhere at any time. Your family. It was like a code. It was like, just put this in the newspaper and then we'll know that you know this is serious.
Oh my God. Like if the internet existed at this time, it'd be like, go to 4chan and submit a meme with this specific fucking bullshit. I don't know. Like, then we'll know that you're cooperating with us. Like, ugh.
Basically, the only thing these people didn't do, like, that's out of a movie is cut out letters of a magazine and, like, paste this together.
Yeah. This guy had delusions of grandeur. And he... and I think, too, like, Ruth, like, got caught up in this because, like, again, he's, like, her professor, and it's just like this whole
she's in love.
Romantic thing. So she's like going along with it, but she's like pretty peripheral.
Yeah.
Through the whole thing. But this is all this guy.
Yeah. Well, so the dad placed the ad.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
So then they were like, okay, but then that's as far as they'd gotten.
Yeah, they're like, oh fuck, I guess it's working. I think they just. It's like the dog that caught the car. They did not think this was going to work, probably.
Yeah.
And it did. And they were like, all right, let us know where you want to pick up your money and we'll arrange a thing.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. This reminds me of like the Big Lebowski when they like are trying to like drop the money and he like throws it off the bridge. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember?
No, because I have never seen this full movie.
Dude.
I know. I've seen like pivotal scenes from it that a lot of people reference in pop culture, but I've never seen the full movie. I think I need to watch it.
It's very good. It's like a family movie that we watch. Like we watch Bad Santa and we watch The Big Lebowski like every time I'm home for the holidays. So
oh, that's so fun.
We don't fuck with that Miracle on 34th Street, or we do watch It's a Wonderful Life because that is a wonderful movie. But you know. That's like our Christmas tradition is just like very, very fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
Subversive comedy.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And then I make my family watch like The Procedure. I should post that video of them watching it on the Facebook.
You should.
Group.
Yeah, that's so funny. Because we posted the video a long time ago. We could post both.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, we did post that. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're trying to like figure out what the best way is to like pick up the money.
Yeah.
And they are going to pick it up, I guess, okay, in like this little like community, right? It's like a on the water in Florida, in the Biscayne Bay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Coral Gables.
Yeah, like close to Coral Gables where Robert Mackle lived.
Yeah. This is like a Tony kind of like on the water community.
Yeah.
And of course, like, rich people are very paranoid.
Yeah.
So this is stupid. They arranged the pickup in like on the water, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm still a little confused.
Oh, okay. I think what happened, there was like a wall or something along the water. So they're like, leave it
like
on the
wall.
wall.
Okay.
Yeah, like a seawall. So they're like, Robert, leave it on the wall. Fucking Krist is in a boat.
Yeah.
He can't walk on water.
No.
So he had to sit in a boat.
He had to get a Boston whaler. Yeah.
He Boston whaled his way over to this drop-off point, and Ruth, his girlfriend / accomplice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, accomplice.
Not accomplished.
She's unaccomplished.
Unaccomplished. Unaccomplished accomplice.
Yeah. She is in a Volvo. Their Volvo, like, it's their car or whatever, one of their cars. But they've been like probably living out of it for a while. And she's in the parking lot and they're like staking out Robert Mackle. And here he comes and he's like about to make the drop. And then they see two cops walk by. And I don't know if this is related or like the cops were just randomly there. But
I think the cops are randomly there patrolling the neighborhood because it's like
they did it. It's a rich people neighborhood.
It's a rich people neighborhood.
Totes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they see that they've like they see these two cops and they're like, fuck, bail. So she takes off, not in the Volvo, just takes off on foot. Or whatever. I don't know if she gets in the boat with Krist or whatever. He saves her. And then they take off. They leave the Volvo behind. Big mistake.
And the money.
Oh, yeah. And the money.
They didn't even grab the fucking money. They freaked out.
They're not criminals.
They're not criminals.
Yeah.
Although this guy wishes he was. He wishes he was a mastermind.
He thinks he is.
They can't play it cool. And I think I think somebody called the police because they heard the outboard motor of his boat.
Oh.
And so they were like, and it was like late at night. And that's why the police were patrolling the area because some paranoid rich person called the cops.
Rightfully so in this instance.
Yeah.
And shit was going on.
And it just so happened their plan was so fucking bad. They made it so elaborate and stupid that it attracted actual attention. And at this point, like, nobody knows who they are.
No.
There's no clues. And also, I want to mention real quick, of course, because they know Richard Nixon personally, Richard Nixon's like, I'll get my best guy on it. Fucking the FBI is on it. And J. Edgar Hoover is like rounding up all the clues and shit he could get. These people, if you fuck with rich people, you need to understand they know everybody. They have all the resources.
Yeah. Rich and well connected.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're rich. Listen, this was a big misstep because they abandoned that Volvo that they had probably been living out of, and all their shit was in it. So like up until this point, they had no idea who had kidnapped her.
No.
But then this all went awry, and then they were like, oh no, now we know exactly who you are because you've left your passports in your Volvo.
Oh my God.
You've left your checkbooks. You've left nude Polaroids of the both of yourselves from like doing kinky shit, and there's like a bunch of underwear and stuff in the car. And they
God.
Yeah. And they found a Polaroid of Barbara Mackle holding that sign that said kidnapped on it. So like
all the clues you could
literally
possibly want. A treasure trove of evidence.
It's like, well, cool. So we know who they are now.
We know exactly who both people are doing this crime, and we know everything about them.
Oh my God. So dumb. Jesus Christ.
So they decide after this whole debacle that they're going to split up to make it easier for them to get away or something.
Yeah.
Split up, meet in Austin, and then Austin, Texas, and then head to Europe together.
Yeah. Yeah, Krist is like, I got this. Like, let me, I'm the smart one. You go hide out. We'll meet up in Texas. We'll go to Europe.
Don't worry, babe. I got this.
Yeah, like, I'm a man. I'm
a neckbeard.
Who was the mastermind behind that whole coffin-y thing that was built that she's living in right now? I am. So let me handle this.
Yeah. Like, I have a theory that I'll share at the end.
Okay.
So yeah, they're gonna meet each other in Texas. They split up. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Krist, whatever, calls Bob Mackle back, the dad, to arrange a second pickup, and this time it worked.
Yeah.
Like, he got the money.
Yep.
And he has his old. It's like, and I think he specified, like, he wants old bills.
Yeah.
Like, non-sequential $20 bills, like $500,000 in $20 or $20 bills.
Yeah.
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 That's a lot of fucking, like, that's 20s. A lot of cash.
That's a lot of physical space. Like, you need a duffel bag for that.
Yeah. So he's like lugging this money around. He goes and buys a boat to cross from Florida.
Yeah.
Cross the Gulf of Mexico into Texas to meet Ruth. And this is all, like, sensationalized, obviously. Like, when you know Nixon and your daughter's kidnapped, it's going to be in the news.
And they know what they look like now, and they have their passport photos and names. So they're like, hey, front page, we're looking for these people.
And so, also, like, you have to pass through, like, I think a series of, like, channels and locks to get to whatever port he was trying to get to.
Yeah.
And he gave the same story to each of, like, the port masters, or, like, lock masters or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Channel master. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And
we're not boat people.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not a seafarer. I'm not a goddamn pirate. And so the first one was like, this guy seems suspicious. He doesn't have any of the right tags on his boat. He doesn't have, like, any identification.
Yeah.
So he calls the people down the line on the other channels, and they're all like, all right, we'll be on the lookout for him. So he's already fucked.
Yeah.
So they catch him. Well, first he gets out and he, like, takes off.
Yeah.
And I think they catch him in, like, some, like, swampy area.
Yeah, well, they on Hog Island. They, like, send all these, like, boats out after him and helicopters. This is what my Mariah Carey reference was, because it's like,
beginning of Honey?
Oh. Yeah. I was like, do you think that this was the inspiration behind the music video for Honey?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, totally.
This exact thing happened in real life, and then she made a video about it for a very,
like,
good song.
Yeah, he's, like, trying to escape with this, like, huge duffel bag full of money. Money's flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And these, like, cops, like, they get him. I mean, it's the fucking FBI at this point. They're after him.
And Krist is, like, in his Boston Whaler too, because it was, like, the upgrade. And he's like,
Mariah, you're on fire.
He's like, oh, I can be elusive with you, honey. Bow, 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 bow.
Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. Well, they catch Krist, whatever. He's
Hog Island.
They catch him on Hog Island. It's very gross, and he goes to jail. And you might wonder, where the fuck is Ruth?
Yeah, where is she?
Where's she at?
No one knows.
She took off. Obviously he got caught. She sees that in the news, and she is like, fuck, I need to go into hiding. I don't know what to do. She has no money. She didn't get any of that fucking $500,000 because they split up before the payout. Before he went on his own to grab the money. She didn't get any of that money. And so she becomes the first woman on the FBI's most wanted list. It's a very good little tidbit.
Prestigious. You know what? We're always out there trying to break glass ceilings. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what the ceiling is of. Sometimes it's of the FBI's most wanted list, and she did it.
She did it.
Respect.
Respect. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then somebody found her. Where was she? I feel like she was in some shithole.
She was in Kansas or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She didn't make it to Texas.
No. Somebody spotted her. She was like trying to get a job. And she nurse. She looked like hell though. She was like,
oh yeah, tattered
and like in bad shape. Yeah. And obviously very stressed out because she was afraid she's going to get caught.
For sure.
When your name goes up on the FBI's most wanted list, you are in deep fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody recognized her even though she was looking a little toe back. And
she was fingerprinted for the job.
Oh, yeah, that's... Come on, girl.
Yeah. Get a job at the Waffle House or something.
Yeah. Yeah, she could have been scot-free if she would have just, like, you know... worked in retail or something.
I know, yeah.
But even she was like, I don't want to work in retail. Fuck that. It's terrible.
People are assholes.
Yeah. Girl, I don't blame you. Yeah, but then she got arrested and she went to jail for 3 years. She was sentenced for 7, but did 3. But she had to go back to her native Honduras.
Yeah, which she wasn't
She wasn't native, yeah.
Yeah, but she was born there. I think born and raised or raised.
Yeah, her parents left
Austria,
yeah. During the war because they were Jewish and had to get the fuck away from Hitler, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. But she's still alive apparently, and she is a grandma, and she has a Facebook profile.
She just made some real bad decisions.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get dickmatized.
Oh. But also I kind of want to be like, you're your own person.
Yeah.
You should have known that this was a bad idea. And like, why are you fucking kidnapping people?
Well, how old was she at the time?
Young. She was a college student.
That's the thing, you know?
Yeah,
your brain is not, like we've said it before. Not fully developed. Poor thing.
But also like, you know it's wrong to kidnap people, so fuck off.
Well, yeah, that's true. She's the Tanya in this story.
Every story's got one.
Every story's got one. But you know, I'm glad that I think 3 years and then being exiled back to Honduras is probably that's fair.
Yeah.
She was stupid. She didn't know what she was doing.
No.
But Krist, he pled guilty and served 10 years. And, and this is crazy right now. Okay.
You guys, this is the U.S. late 70s because he served 10 years.
Of opportunity.
They're like, you know what? He's like, you know what? I want to further my education, and they're like, you know what? You should. And he's like, great. I'm gonna go to medical school.
Fuck this guy, dude. Okay, he's like Tanya in this instance.
Yeah. Oh, now he's the Tanya.
Now he's the Tanya.
Some stories have 2 Tanyas. He went to the Caribbean. He went to medical school. So he was gone for a while. He became a doctor. Then he comes back in 2001 and he moves to Indiana and he's like, hey, I'm a doctor. And they're like, oh, just like take this test or whatever so you could be a U.S. doctor. He's like, all right. And he does it. And they're like, cool. And then 2 years later, they're like, wait, who are you? And he's like, oh, listen, I have this past. I kidnapped a lady once, but I'm also a doctor. And they're like, no, fuck off.
I just buried a 20-year-old woman alive, but the capsule I buried her in had some really hot features.
It was, I mean, only a smart person could think of this. It was almost like a second home.
It was like a feat of engineering. Like, it was like a tiny home.
It was. Have
Oh
you
my
ever
God.
seen HGTV's Tiny Home? Yeah, it was one of those. It was modest. It was modest, but it had a toilet.
That's what he should do now. He should
Tiny
just
homes?
make tiny homes.
Maybe he does. We need to figure out who those hosts are.
Dude, wouldn't you change your name if you did something like this?
Yeah, but obviously he's not that smart.
He's smart, but he's still like, no, he's just smug. He just wants people to know how smart, quote unquote, he is.
Okay, but you know how there are like people who are book smart and there are people who are street smart?
Yeah.
He's book smart.
Yeah.
With no street smarts.
No common sense.
No.
Nope. Okay, but there's more.
What
so
an
he
asshole.
obviously could not be a doctor because he had a very bad past.
Yeah. He makes bad decisions.
Yeah.
And if I found out he was my doctor, I'd be like, I'm good.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna get a second opinion. Goodbye. But yeah, so he couldn't be a doctor in the US and his license got revoked. You know what this reminds me of? Actually, this reminds me of Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's just fucking bullshitting his way across America. Across professions. But then he decided he was going to go start smuggling cocaine. And illegally. And people. Yeah. And traffic humans.
Yeah.
So he was from South America into the U.S. I think he got caught for that, for sure. Mm-hmm. That's why we know about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on his record.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he violated his parole.
Yeah, he went to jail for that, got out, went on parole, then violated it, then had to go back to jail.
Yeah.
And as of 2015, he's free.
Yeah.
We don't know where he is, but
he's probably doing some fucking heinous shit.
I'd check his basement if I was his parole officer.
Oh my God.
I'd check.
He's probably an airline pilot or something now. It's terrifying to think.
Yeah.
Somebody with the I don't know, the chutzpah to do something like kidnap somebody and then subsequently keep doing these risky behaviors is like just, I don't know.
No, I think he's probably a Republican politician. Motherfuckers! Bam!
Yeah, he definitely is. Oh, I think he changed his name to Roy Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yep. Barbara Mackle, though, I think she's still alive, yeah.
Oh, we never said how she escaped.
Oh, duh.
My God.
Okay.
Duh. Okay, so like.
Fuck these assholes. Let's stop talking about them. FBI catches them and then I think he like immediately.
No, it was, he picked up the ransom. So he got the money. He called from a payphone.
Okay.
Before he bought his boat. I think is how it happened. He calls
the timeline, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, this is where she is. Sorry about it, but like, don't worry because this thing I built her is like super top of the line."
Yeah. You guys, the ventilation system on it is amazing. God, like what an asshole.
There's so much air. It's like very high quality. She has a toilet.
Only the best candy.
Yeah, only the best. Not fun size, regular size.
Yeah, king size.
King size. Yeah, so don't worry, I wrote her a letter.
Yeah, she knows all about the features too. God.
And so they're like, he's like, this is exactly where she is. So like the police go out there, they find the area where she's buried. She's talking to them like, don't leave me here. And they start digging and they find her and let her out. And then they're like, are you okay? And she's like, oh yeah, like they were like super nice, like treated me very humanely, and like actually I feel absolutely great.
Yeah, I'm like over my flu. That's so crazy.
Yeah. This is I was quarantined actually for having the Hong Kong flu, and it was all the fresh air coming from my
my really great ventilation system. Poor thing.
Yeah, probably has a bit of PTSD.
She's definitely claustrophobic now. Poor fucking thing, dude.
She's never living in a fucking tiny house. She won't even live in a studio. She's like, no.
Yeah. Oh my God. Poor girl.
Yeah, but she survived, and she ended up marrying her boyfriend, Stuart, from college, and I think they had some kids, and yeah.
Yeah, she wrote a book, 83 Hours Till Dawn, and good for her. I hope she made tons of money.
Yeah.
And then stupid Christ, he also wrote a book called Life, The Man Who Kidnapped Barbara Jane Mackle. Fuck you.
Oh, just get the fuck out.
Fuck you, dude. Nobody wants to hear from you. Like, you're an asshole.
It's like OJ's book, like,
if I did it. God. Except
we all know this guy actually.
Well, this guy is a narcissist. Like, he's just
for sure.
He just. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my theory. I think that he wanted to get caught the whole time. I think he was maybe in a bad marriage. I don't know. And had this affair with this college student. And it got really deep. And he didn't know how to, like, get out of it. He was so prideful that he couldn't. So things just spiraled.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he just kept escalating and escalating and escalating, thinking, I'm going to do this to fix it. So it's like Breaking Bad, where you just, like, keep adding bad decisions on top of bad decisions.
Yeah.
And in the end, though, like, he focused all of his energy onto this capsule. It really encapsulates the whole thought process. And didn't think more about the nuance of the plan of what was going to happen when he actually got the money, because he didn't ever think that it was going to work.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it shouldn't have. And it
like
didn't.
I said, he's the dog that caught the car. And,
yeah.
And now he was just like, oh, well. So he just kept going and going. He's like, well, I can't believe this keeps working. I can't believe I actually kidnapped a heiress and my capsule is going to be used. This is amazing. I can't believe that I got away with almost getting caught for making my first ransom pickup. Didn't work. I guess I'll do the second one. And oh my God, I have $500,000. I guess I'll just buy a boat and keep going on with my plan. And then he got caught and he's like, all right, I guess I'm just going to write a book and become a doctor, guys. You know, you got to admire his perseverance and just total lack of self-awareness.
Dr. Krist.
So yeah, he sucks really hard. Barbara Mackle is she came out of it okay. I hope she passed her finals.
I think she did. I mean, she wrote a book not that much later. Mm-hmm. And then they made 2 made-for-TV movies. The first one's called The Longest Night. They made that in 1972. So, like, real quick after all these events went down. It was fine, whatever. Mm-hmm. It only aired once, and then they were like, oh, no, like, there was, like, a litigious case because they were like, who owns the rights to the story? Because she, like, co-wrote her book with someone. But then they worked it out. I don't think it was anything to write home about. And then in the 90s, in 1990, they made the movie 83 Hours Till Dawn, which was based on Mackle's book. So it was like a first-hand account or whatever of this. And it only has a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. And a fun fact was the original telecast of 83 Hours Till Dawn ran a distant second to a competing network showing of the theatrical feature 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh my God.
Which was like had already been in theaters and then had already been on home video, and then they ran it on TV, and it fucking blew this story out of the water because it's interesting, but it's kind of a bunch of bumbling assholes.
Yeah, but I mean, the real story is her literally being buried alive for over 3 days. Like, that's crazy. 83 hours, obviously. That's like 3.5 days.
Yeah.
And just the fact that that fucking Richard Nixon and J. Edgar Hoover were involved in the recovery and retrieval of her. When the cops who were, you know, searching through the woods for her found the burial site, they like dug her out with their bare hands.
Yeah.
They didn't have any shovels or anything.
Yeah.
which seems stupid, but they literally just like dug her out with their bare hands.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty wild.
She was very grateful.
Yeah.
But I think we could put a feather in this capsule.
Oh my God. Oh dear. Oh my God.
Well, no, I'm done. I don't have any.
I don't have anything else.
It just kind of ends. I mean, she survived, and that's cool.
Yeah, we're glad.
She didn't die.
No. And that's that. That's the story of Barbara Mackle and her kidnapping in the late 60s, 1968.
In Georgia.
In Georgia. Yeah. Poor thing.
Yeah.
We're glad you made it, Barbara.
Yeah. Good job on you. And
yeah.
It sounds like you had a winning attitude and a survival instinct.
Yeah. A good tude.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to add?
No, just all the regular stuff. Like, firstly, I'd like to ask that you share with a friend. Maybe share your favorite episode with a friend on Twitter. It's very public. Maybe other people will want to give it a listen.
Yeah, I feel like there's something for everybody. So
yeah.
If you have like a gross friend or really like, we don't do a lot of true crime. This is definitely crime-centric episode. Yeah. So maybe if you are have some true crime friends that are into it, share with them, because we try to cover all the bases. Like there's so many options for true crime these days that we want to be a little different and do all kinds of stuff like aliens and Sasquatch and juggalos and
the lot.
So
yeah, we're going beyond. We can cross all the borders because we don't really have like a niche, I guess. As long as you could describe it as fucked up, then we like it.
Yeah. So tell a friend, write us a review on iTunes if you want. Donate to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/DTFU podcast if you want to. Like I said before, we do all this stuff on our own. We started it all with our own funds, and we do all the things ourselves. So, ladies doing it for themselves.
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
So if you appreciate that kind of independent content and beautiful singing, then that's a thing. And we thank all of our current patrons so much for
we love you,
for your love and support. Follow us on social media, Sochmeds at DTFU Podcast everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the places.
Join the secret group, the Facebook group, listeners of Dude That's Fucked Up. You have to answer a few questions, but we'll let you in. Or if we see that your friends are like sometimes I just like recognize people and I'm like, oh, okay. Like
I also click on like everybody's profile.
Oh, that's cool. I like to see where they are from and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. We love you guys. We appreciate you listening, and tell a friend. And that's it. Happy holidays.
And be excellent.
Be excellent. Doy.
Yeah. Doy.
Adoy. We'll talk at you next week.
Cool.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.